I was born at sea, on a ship. My parents escaped the war in Vietnam when Saigon fell in 1975, and my mom was in the hospital. My dad told her, "We have to go now or we'll never get out." And they were trying to induce the labor, but they just didn't have time. And so my mom ran 9 months pregnant to the port. Growing up with my father was really hard for me. He wasn't your normal father that brought you to school and took care of you and cooked for you. I always felt that he was like a stranger to me, someone I had to watch out for. He was the one that abducted my brother and I when I was 8. He was never officially diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, but I always thought that he was. When he was in Vietnam, he was put into a rehabilitation camp where they tortured him mentally. I have no idea what he endured. Growing up with him, he would do the strangest things. He would lay flour down on the floor each night, thinking he would catch footprints from the VC. And we had 15 canaries, just in case the government poisoned the air. I always wanted to know what went on inside his head. There are things that I don't think anyone should ever endure that I endured that year. I don't think you would ever think I would go into fashion, mostly because I look like a boy growing up. I always had my brother's hand-me-downs because we're poor, and my mom really didn't care about fashion, I guess, and so I always had boys' clothes growing up. And maybe that's why everything I design is pretty girly right now. I applied to Parsons School of Design and I got in with a scholarship, and that was it. I packed my bags for New York. I was in New York for 3 years, and there was an exchange program to go to Paris for a year, and so I went to Paris for a year and I got to work for a couple small couture houses, and it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Fall winter is all about from water to ice, water for when I was born. Ice is a time when I wouldn't let myself feel, and that's the structure as well, the gemstones, things that are hard. And even in the hardness, there's a beauty in it. I find there's beauty in pain. The idea of going back to water again is when I actually let myself cry and feel like a person again. So this collection is based on my life from start to now. Using the Easter grass to melt and make into giant sequins was something I learned in Paris. I was working for a designer called Koji Tatsuno, and I just started experimenting with different colors, also mixing different plastics together and just making it my own. I don't know if it's my passion or if it's my destiny. My grandmother was a fashion designer. I didn't know this until I was much older. And my mother was surprised that I had switched careers, and she thought maybe it was because it was already in my blood. I think most collections need to have a story, a beginning and an ending, and it's not just a story of a theme, but a story of who the designer is. There has to be a reason for being a designer. What's so different about this work?